everybody and welcome back to Naturally Fueled. For my birthday I finally got a camera, so I thought I should make a video that might be of good quality for once, fingers crossed, but I still don't really know how to use it, so bear with me. I'm just going to jump right in and talk about injections today. I myself, I've been a diabetic for 11 years and I'm still on injections. I know the majority or just a lot of people are on the pump these days, but for those of you who, like me, are still on injections, I thought it might be helpful to share my 5 life hacks for just making life a little bit easier with injections because it's tricky. So these are like my top tips and tricks that I've learned after many years of being a diabetic and taking a lot of injections. So I'm just going to jump right in and share my first one with you, which is get 2 different colored pens. This is so important. So I'm part of a few groups on Facebook that are for type 1 diabetics, and it baffles me the amount of people that post on these groups in an absolute panic saying that they've just taken their rapid acting insulin, mistaking it for their long acting insulin. So just to explain this in a little bit more detail, my long acting insulin delivers my insulin throughout a 12-hour period. My rapid acting insulin delivers my insulin throughout a 2 to 3 hour period. So basically, the people who have made this mistake have just injected their rapid acting insulin thinking that it was their long acting insulin, so they're going to have a major hypo in about an hour. The thought of it actually gives me anxiety. I don't even know how I would survive that. I presume they just stuff their face with food for about 2 hours. But I mean, it's a very big and terrifying mistake to make. So as I mentioned before, I've been a diabetic for 11 years, and not to toot my own horn, but I've never made this mistake. And the reason why is because from day one I've always differentiated red as rapid, blue as long acting. Get 2 different colored pens, don't swap them, don't change the color, and learn from day one that one color is one type of insulin and the other color is the other type of insulin. Ask your hospital, they will have the 2 different colored pens. Sometimes they do give you the same color pen. For example, one time the hospital gave me 2 silver pens, but I went straight back in and asked for the blue and the red. They will have them there, or even I'm sure you can just get them anywhere, but you need to get 2 different colored pens. And sometimes people say, oh, stick stickers on them to differentiate, but that isn't enough. It's just far too easy to make that mistake, and that mistake is just my worst nightmare. So 2 different colored pens is my first top major tip. My second, and I realized I would have to make a video for this topic because I don't know how I would describe this in a post, but it's about needles. So when you're out and about throughout the day and you don't have access to these needle disposal bins or these like needle compressors that the hospital tells you about, this is my little tip for making sure that you dispose of your needles properly at the end of the day and to differentiate what ones are used and what ones aren't used. Now I'll just go into a little bit more detail. So I'm changing the needle here, and what I do is with the new needle, pop that on. I use the cap and I put the old needle into the cap of the new needle and fold the bottom, I don't know if you can see, hopefully you can, fold the bottom of it down. So it's lodged into the cap, it won't come out, it won't like prick you or prick anyone else or just fall loose in your bag. And also it's the little bottom of it is folded down, so you'll know that it's been used. And then at the end of the day you can take out all the used ones and then dispose of them properly. But this is a handy thing to have just while you're out and about. It's pretty straightforward, and maybe it's very obvious, but that's just what I do anyways. Thought I'd share it in case it helps. So my third one is to get an app on your phone and track the last time you took insulin. I use the MYSUGR app here. So as you can see, about an hour ago, my sugars were 5.8. I had 10 grams of carbs there, and I took 1 unit. So next time I'm eating, I can see when the last time I took insulin was, and I will know if I still have insulin on board. So this will help me measure how much insulin I need for my next meal, to prevent me having any hypos, because it's very easy to eat something, take insulin for it, and then forget when you last ate, eat again, take some more insulin, and then you still got insulin on board, so then you'll have a low blood sugar. So this will help prevent that. And also I really like this particular app, MYSUGR, because so here is where you log the blood glucose and it goes into detail, which I love. So you can like say whether it was breakfast, lunch, dinner, a correction dose, and then there is like a lot of other options as well, like sports, bedtime, office work. So yeah, it's a really handy one to have, and I would recommend that one in particular. My fourth tip is to get one of these bags, which I mention all the time, so it looks like this is sponsored or something like that, but it's not. I just really would recommend them. The FRIO bag. So this little black bag goes into this purple bag, and what it does is it keeps your insulin cool, which is so important through the summer months, and well, if you live in Ireland when you're going on holidays. Like for example, I'm living in Boston at the moment, and obviously the summers here are so much hotter than in Ireland, so I use this every single day, and I've replaced my normal kit with this one just for the summer months, because I really trust that it will keep my insulin cool. So many times I've gone on holidays, or even a few months ago I went to Miami. It was absolutely boiling hot there, and my insulin just spoiled straight away, and it just didn't work for about 3 days, and I didn't know what was going on, and I only sussed it like after the 3rd day. I was like, oh, I need to change it. It's the heat. Whereas if I was using this FRIO bag, that wouldn't have happened. And it's really easy to use. You just put this black bag into cool water for about 2 minutes, and then it kind of expands and it just keeps it cool. It's a really handy one to have. I would definitely recommend it, because it's no lie, like the heat really does affect your insulin and can have a really negative effect on it. So I would definitely recommend getting your hands on one of these, and they're not expensive at all, and you can get it on Amazon, you can get it off the website, really easily accessible. The last one is just to fill everything with spares. Your pockets, your jacket pockets, your jeans pockets, your bags, your makeup bag. I have needles in everything. I have a spare kit at work. I did have a spare kit in my glove compartment of my car when I had a car. You know, no matter how organized you think you are, there will be a day when you just rushed that little bit too quickly in the morning and you forgot something, and you will thank yourself. Even last night for my birthday, we went out for dinner and I went to take my insulin, and I just saw that it was all gone, and the insulin capsule itself. But luckily I had a spare one in my bag, so the day was saved. But you know, it's a real nightmare when you don't have one of your little bits, and especially when you're on injections. I don't really know what you need for the pump, but when you're on injections, there's so many things you need. Needles, insulin, the pen, glucose monitor, glucose strips, finger pricker, Skittles or sweets or anything. It's so easy to just forget one of those things. So if you just keep refilling, restocking everything, like at the end of every day, just fill everything with spares, then you will just avoid that horrible situation. So those are my 5 life hacks for taking injections. It's not easy, but these little hacks will definitely make it that little bit easier. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.